Oi, oi. Good to see you again today, guys. Welcome back to the Martin Litska channel. Hope all is groovy with you. Much love. And thanks for being here. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a top 20. Dun, 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 dun. The top 20 of my favorite, Marticus's favorite, dystopic sci-fi movies. Now, there are plenty to choose from. So I'm going to go through some of my favorites with you here today. And we're going to decode these movies. We're going to look at them in the eyes of like truthers. And we're going to think about the social engineering and predictive programming that is going on with these movies that millions and millions of people get to see. And actually, these films become a really big deal. Films like Mad Max, for example, dystopic films. Now, what you find with most of these films is there's a rebel army. There's always seems to be a rebel army, and they're the good guys. And they're always against the powers that should not be, the evil state. In all of these films, mostly. So they're predictively programming that the rebels are heroes and should oppose the powers that should not be, even though the films are released by the powers that should not be. Okay, what else is prevalent in these movies? Advertising, for sure. That's the thing of the future. But World War III, usually, in the case of Mad Max, for example, the intro to the movie tells you pretty much what is happening in the modern day, is that there was shortages, whether or not deliberately psyoped and introduced, shortages nevertheless with oil, in the case of Mad Max, and water, and then famine, and then Dust Bowl, Oklahoma Dust Bowl for the whole world. So we're going to look at 20 of the greatest movies. We're going to start here with probably one of the first great sci-fi dystopic movies of all time. And it is Fritz Lang's 1927 offering, which was fantastic, by the way, Metropolis. Now, what is interesting about a lot of these is their dates that they give you for the end times in these movies. And what you get with Metropolis, no, this was made, you know, between the wars, 1927, guys, and it was set in the world of 2026, where we are now. So what kind of world did they see? A world of complete enslavement. People just drones marching to work, a bit like what you see on Westminster Bridge in London in the morning. Everyone just off to their work, toil, and strange religious cults, in this case, a satanic death cult. But what you see is it's transhumanization is prevalent in this movie, and the automation of human beings. In this case, a young lady. But you can see, you know, this is like, this actually got horns. This is like Satan or Lucifer or something. They're all just going into its mouth, like what you see in the Renaissance artworks, exactly the same. But wow, that is what they're doing right now. So yeah, Fritz Lang's epic, as you can see, it's got a really sort of dark theme to it. It is a struggle for me to sit all the way through it. I like the colorized version that they recently made, so I watched that about a year ago. But he nailed it and what he's seen the future to be. You know, I mean, Fritz Lang's Metropolis, it was big, broad highways and massive high skyscrapers. This looks like going through Midtown Houston or something. It's like he just nailed it. They knew the way the world was going to happen because it's all being scripted. You've got to flip the script. So people quite happy. I seen a friend yesterday from school, and he works in steelworks. He said it was really dangerous. He does the night shift, same age as me. And he said that like there's just steel or just going all over his head every night, and it's very dangerous. And that sort of work is dangerous. But you know, this creating an environment of giving your energy to a workplace, whether or not it's needed. The street sweepers, for example, you know, there's 100 ways you could do all of this cleaning, but it keeps people jobs and it keeps people busy. And above all, they can give it, the entity, its energy. Same with religion. giving an entity your energy. And that is what's happening now in the modern days. There's the left, the right, this, that, the other. It's a very confusing place. But religions, they got people, and they will literally, like lemmings, go off the cliff if they're told to, by one person who's got a direct telephone call to the big guy, because he tells you that. I can't remember this lady's name. I did used to know her, but she's doing the old one eye there, I guess, the Illuminati one eye. But you can see a lot of like Tesla tech in 1927 in this movie, a lot of Van de Graaff generator type of affairs. But here she is getting transformed, or untransformed in this case. Hunting, and that is the way they're going. We've all seen Fiona. I don't know how advanced they are with robots at the moment, guys. How would you know? How would you know they're just not in public? How would you even know if they're not rolled out? Yeah, to spy or whatever they do. And that you think that they're just like NCPs, they cloud over and all that. It's like, no, they're androids. You can't even tell them apart anymore. How would you even know? Coffee went down the wrong way. How advanced it is. So there she is. Look at this Tesla tech going on. So transhumanization, they're definitely pushing with trying to chip people and 50-minute cities, everything else. They don't really want anybody to go out anymore. Notice they have a pentagram in the background of this image on this stage where she's being turned into a soulless drone, so to speak. Right, that's the first offering. My next offering today is a film that I love very much, actually. It's brilliant. Demolition Man. Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. The future isn't big enough for both of them. The 21st century's most ruthless criminal. And what Wesley Snipes says about the times we live in now, communicates back in time to his bros to bring them over so they can just take over and steal everything. And he says, everyone's like a real pussy in future, which is definitely happened. So Sly Stallone, he's having problems adapting to the period. So what period was Demolition Man? Well, it's hard to even believe that this film depicts 2032. So that's in the very near future. What is the music, the contemporary music? Adverts. They're singing old adverts. I like to do that. So yeah, the dystopia is so on, right, that they got swear machines. So I would be truly fucked. Yeah. Ticket. Yeah. Ticket. He ends up using them as toilet tissue because he can't get on with the free shells technique because there's not an instructions manual and nobody will explain to him how to do it. So he uses them. So notice the little Fibonacci going on there. Interesting that they made the effort to do that. So yeah, 20 credits. Here he is, Sly Stallone, with his assistant, Sandra got bollocks. Or in this case, hasn't, because Sandra Bullock is a bull that's had his testes removed. She looks like a moody boy, doesn't she? It's just like she's got teenage angst or something. So yeah, he teams up with her. She tries to teach him the ropes about how things are in this time, which is only in a few years' time. And he can't really get on with it. I gotta go and fight Wesley Snipes. This guy, they have never seen violence because basically they had a war. So all of that violence and all that has been acted from Bhutan in the future. Sometime in the 80s, I guess they had a war. Everything's groovy now. And awesome, he's getting mind controlled because he's bitch for John Gielgud, which is pretty much standard and normal. I'm guessing John Gielgud has done that a lot. So there he is, Wesley Snipes, all like evil, ready to go to the future, kick ass, steal lots of shit, which is what you do. So my next offering, that was Demolition Man. Love that film. I'm giving big thumbs up, wiggly thumbs up for Demolition Man, and Metropolis only maybe a little bit more down like that. I'm going to give him a score of 1 to 10 is what I'm going to do. So Metropolis, I'm going to give a 7 because it was the first. And Demolition Man, I'm going to give a 7 to as well. You give your own scores. I'm just saying. This one, Logan's Run is definitely an 8. Why? Because it's got Jenny Agutter in it. That instantly defaults it to an 8. It doesn't even matter if the film's unbelievable rubbish, which it's not, by the way. Welcome to the 23rd century, the perfect world of total pleasure. So yeah, they're all living like, you know, hedonistically, all young, all having a really good time. The problem is that you've got a little disc in your hand, and when that expires at the age of 30 years of age, you have to go into the carousel. And they're led to believe that it's all going to be groovy after this. Yeah, it's going to be lovely. And what happens, it's not lovely. They have a hideous ending. So yeah, Logan's Run, Michael York running around here, lucky. Do you know Michael York? Fuck Michael York. Yeah, fuck the bongo player of T-Rex 2. Okay, yeah, just fuck them. Yeah, it's just why. So I know I sound like I'm a bit jealous, but Farrah Forsyth Majors. Now Jenny Agutter is definitely female. I don't care what anyone is saying in chat. Okay, so yeah. Future dystopic and everything is hedonistic. They're having a great time in this world. But he's like a copper, if you want, a policeman that investigates stuff, and he starts to see that, oh shit, we're going to be literally killed at the age of 30. So there she is, Jenny Agutter. You may remember her as the nurse in American Werewolf in London. She was also in The Railway Children when I was little, but oh my God, amazing. This film is so good. There she is there, looking all cave girl, look, all Viking. She's got a disc in her hand. Yeah. Expires. So, like, we've been sold a half-life in this world. And let's be honest, the real world is exactly like that, isn't it? So you get how many people retain their youth until they're like old? Well, not from what I witnessed. Most people, they're like, there's a very, very narrow window of looking lush, and then it's all gone to pot. For some people, not everybody, obviously. Not Jenny Agutter. Anyway, so that's my number 3 offering, Logan's Run. Let me know what you're thinking in chat. I want to know all of your opinions concerning all of this. So yeah, they're telling us the predictive programming for this is they don't know there's any old people, and they think that there's a place promised to them. And of course, there's a cabal, if you like, of what look exactly like the witches of Eyes Wide Shut. Witches that are running it all. So the same evil cabal, the same little rebel thing going on, and good prevails, I hope. So, number 3, our offering, I Am the Law, Judge Dredd. Now, we're going to look at that in a minute because the image is too rubbish. So we're going to look at RoboCop. It's probably one of the best films ever made. Oh, I say that for all of them, really, but I really love Peter Weller's offerings, RoboCop 1, RoboCop 2, and RoboCop 3, set in a dystopic Detroit, which it got to look like after a while, didn't it, when it all closed down, in the year of 2043, when they got policemen that are automated, like RoboCop, to serve the public trust, protect the innocent, and above all, uphold the law. Okay, so that's what RoboCop is doing. There he is, Peter Weller. Now, of course, he didn't ask to have any of this. What happens is he gets like basically shotgunned to pieces by a load of psychs, and then they stick him back together and make him a copper and say, don't worry, he won't have any of the memories, all's groovy, but he's having flashbacks that he's got a wife, he's got a kid, he's been ripped right off, and he's like, shit, I haven't got a willy anymore. It's not a good scenario, guys. So yeah, RoboCop is absolutely fantastic, set in the very near future, only a 20 years time, but I think it's a good chance we'll probably end before then. So yeah, so what will I give a score to RoboCop? An 8. RoboCop's an 8 of dystopic futuristic films, definitely. The world is gone to shit in a handbag. Shortages and riots, there's a cursed world, the usual scenario, and they invent these robots, but they're rubbish. They can't do stairs, but they mincemeat anything like that's in front of them accidentally. So yeah, lots of bad things happen to RoboCop along the way. Thank you for your cooperation. That kind of sounds like you've got to do it. So is he a good guy? Well, yeah, he doesn't kill the innocent. He's always after the bad guys. And let's be honest, that is bad guys, especially in the future good bad guys. So yeah, that is number 4. I think is RoboCop. See the feet on the robot? Absolutely ridiculous. No chance whatsoever. So my next offering is absolutely one of my favorites. I think the original is far better than the second one with Will Ferrell, but the first, Total Recall, is amazing. So yeah, what year is this set in? 2084. So a fair few years into the future. And what happens is this guy in this dystopic future, he wants a download holiday. They can give you a vacation. You can go there and they download it. Okay. He wants to be a spy on Mars, but you're not sure if the movie is actually the whole program playing out, or is he actually going to see Cohagen? Now, Cohagen is on Mars and he's running a rebellion. Okay, is what you get. And you get this in a lot of plots. Okay, and it's go see Cohagen. So he has to go through the border, dressed as a woman, which is basically a technological mask, if you like, that pulls off. And then underneath is Annie. And he has to remove a bug because he's got a bug in his nose. So he can get to Mars untracked and go see Cohagen. You are not you, you are me. So he has a video call with himself where himself gives him a message, okay, about stuff. So yeah, I actually don't think Mars is actually a place in space, but it could be further out there. So here are the women of Mars. But you can't, one side of her face was exposed to the atmosphere. You see what happens. But the other side was absolutely fine. So sad, really. So there he was. He's like, yeah, I'm going to have a holiday in Mars. I'm going to have a spy adventure. And then instantly, lamps go off, goes to shit in a handbag. But it's showing you that they are predictively programming us into that they're going to do space travel and stuff, which they are not going to do. My next offering for today is one of my favorites ever. Multipass with Leilu. Leilu, who managed to wear a bandage for the beginning of the film and nothing fell out. I find that really fascinating how they managed to do that. The multipass now exists. My phone is multipassed. And Gary Oldman's absolutely superb villain. He does absolutely brilliant villains in most films, doesn't he? So yeah, my favorite. So yeah, what kind of things you get in the Fifth Element? You get Pizza Hats. And this guy here, played by Chris Tucker, all night long. And he exists in a modern day. He's that YouTuber, I Am Speed. I Am Speed is the guy of a Fifth Element, Chris Tucker. He does exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. So yeah, advertising, and it's the society that they're pushing, the woke society of today is the woke society that they're pushing in the future in this film. So what sort of year is the Fifth Element? 2268. So it's way off in the future. Cigarettes, you only get this much. Okay, like tiny little bit of a cigarette. That's happened. It's all happening. So yeah, Leilu, she's all like kung fu and amazing, ginger hair, wears a sticky plaster and gets away with it. So yeah, Dallas Corbin, my man. You know how to stop this, right? So this is Dallas Corbin, who's played by, as you know, somebody that's unable to speak at the moment. Sir, are you classified as a human? No, is the answer to that. There she is, Leilu, look. Multipass. So yeah, that's what we got to do now, is we just got to go on a bus, go anywhere, airport, multipass, and off you go. Multipass. So yeah, the plot is quite complex, and it's to deal with antiquity and the fifth element, which is all probably very real, but it is a dystopic world. I'll be back. My next offering is The Terminator. I think this is number 9. I'm not sure, but this is something that's going down, isn't it? Yeah. So Annie, he is a Terminator robot, and he's sent from the future, from the year 2029 back to the year 1984 to take out the leaders of the rebellion. You know, that goes with John Connor, etc. And oh, excuse me. The first film was made in 1982. And then it introduced us to quite terrifying cybernetic robots, which cannot be destroyed, really. You see how hard it is to kill a Terminator. And the later models, like Mercury Man in number 2, completely impossible to kill. So yeah, we got Skynet. Yeah. And then Skynet, if it is real, it is called that. And AI goes completely nuts, wants to kill us all, and then has a robot AI army. That's what happens to humanity. So it's telling us that Skynet AI is really bad, and then there's going to be robots. Next film is Blade Runner. I absolutely love Blade Runner. It's a terrible grainy image. So Blade Runner, that's Rutger Hauer. I do love Rutger Hauer and anything he stars in, but Blade Runner was a fantastic movie. Both of them. I like the later one with Ryan Gosling's quite good, but the earlier one with Harrison Ford is set in 2019 LA. And this guy here is off to hunt down droids or androids, which are in the population. And he meets Sean Young. Here she is. She's a bit of a babe. She thinks she's a human. She finds out that she's not human and only an android, and sheds a robot tear. It's based on Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Sheep book. And then it was just recounted into a movie. So there she is, Sean Young. You know that Voigtkamp test? Oh, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I'm not even going to read that. But yeah, she was just shocked. So in this future, the cities look like the cities of today, or that they will. All we need is flying boats. The next film. Oh my God. This was a documentary, except that the people that made the film in the last realm were male. And now in this realm, they are female. And the last Matrix movie was a travesty of justice. It was terrible, really, really bad. Worse than Joker 2. And that's saying something. I was absolutely disgusted. In fact, I didn't even watch it all the way through. I was like, what happened to the Matrix? You have Matrix 1, 2, and 3. You had Animatrix movie, which is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, do watch that. So yeah, The Matrix was a documentary, wasn't it? So they're running in sometime in the future. They don't know exactly, but they say that it was, somewhere in the 20th century. Something really bad happened. They torched the sky. And the real world is completely apocalyptic. And so what they did was run a simulation, apparently, a slave simulation, and everybody in the world is in it. And that was what the pill got him to see. So he's actually a battery, as you will see, millions and millions of these humans being fed themselves and generating a charge for the machine world and the AI. And the programs, as you know, are called the Smiths, and they're a bit evil, and their job is to kill the rebels, the agents. So yeah, here's a flat earther, and this is eventually when you get up to all of the truth. The Agent Smith can't do anything to you. It's just ridiculous, just like that. So yeah, very, very possible that this is a simulation. I don't even know, but there is a mathematical. The whole place is mathematical, so there is that, and the Matrix is also mathematical. Apparently, this can be red, blonde, brunette, etc. If, of course, that's what you're looking for in the Matrix. So what does he do when he unplugs? He touches the mirror, and it envelops his body, and there's that strange telephone noise, and then poof, he's in the real world, and the real world really sucks. It's a smelly old craft, the Nebuchadnezzar, in the smelly old sewer, and outside is the smelly old world is completely blitzed. But he gets all good with Kung Fu, and basically no bullets can ever hurt him. He starts flying, he turns into Superman. There you are. You can't even shoot him over. But the Oracle said he wasn't the one, but he turns out to be the one. But yeah, I love the Matrix until he went to shit in a handbag. That Gestapo shit, he said, won't work on me. But once they sealed his mouth up, guess what? That Gestapo shit worked on him. Oh. And what happened? Judas. Cypher, look at him. He's all devilly. He's got the devil goatee as well. He's like, I know this steak is not real, but he eats it up. He eats that steak. And he wants to be plugged back into the Matrix as a rock star or an author or something like that. I can't remember. I think he wanted to be a famous author. And he wants loads of wealth, chicks, all of that. But to do that, he's got to shop his mates, and they'll all probably get killed and disconnected, because that's what you do. It's really, really bad. So yeah, he ratted out the rebellion, the rebel force that are going to save humanity from the Zion, their hub, which actually has an attack later on in the movies. But my thumbs up for the Matrix movie, I'm going to give Matrix a 9. I'm going to give it a wiggly flat 9 for one of the best movies of all time. Okay, Cypher was a shit. A couple of years after 1999, like 2002, came another film that was dystopic, very Matrix-like, which was fantastic, I think, which was called Equilibrium. There's a lot of martial arts, a lot of overlay with the Matrix movie, but highly interesting nevertheless. There'd been a nuclear war, the world had ended, and then in the year 2072, there's no more wars because there's no more emotions, because everybody in the population is taking a tablet called Posium. This guy is a cleric, which is sort of a high-end copper, a bit Judge Dreddy, but he decides to stop taking his Posium and starts living puppy dogs and stuff, ending up getting hunted himself. But his son, who was really cool, worked out how to fake it, because if you've got emotions in public, you might show them, and then everyone comes after you. So that is exactly like the real world, isn't it? The narcissistic world that we see. Not a lot of people are kind anymore. Not a lot of people are very giving and loving, I find. It's changed so much drastically since 2020, I would say. It's got really interesting. So yeah, lots of martial arts. So like I said, a lot of similarities with the Matrix movie. But I would give this a wiggly flat 8 out of 10. And Christian Bale's good in whatever film he's in anyway, isn't he? He's one of those character actors. So yeah, that's my next offering. Next up, so I hope you're enjoying this so far. And I will do more top 20s in the future. Let me know in comments if you want me to do top 20 cities, top 20 buildings, top 20 books, or top 20 bands. Let me know in comments, and I'll do them later on. 1984. Wow. Which film? The old black and white one. That's available on YouTube, or the one here, which was absolutely fantastic, that was made in the 80s. With John Hurt, who is sadly no longer with us. So you're not allowed to have affairs, and you're definitely not allowed to fall in love in this nasty, really nasty dystopic future. that was proposed for us in the book 1984 by George Orwell. Mr. Blair told us, because he was working for the BBC propaganda, Tavistock type of affairs, had an inside view of the script that was being played out. And it's crazy that this book is literally so much like real life now, you know, like thought crime and dirty words and inappropriateness and all of these weird fucking things that they've all come up with in the last few years, which is really agonizing for someone like me who's got like Tourette's and has to say what he has to say. Okay, so they fear love because it creates a world they can control, and that's what Mr. Orwell knew, and that's why they don't want it. And the first words of the book was, on a bright cold day in April, the clocks were striking 13. So there's also, apart from the clocks are not the same anymore, there's a perpetual war, which they change the victor on a daily basis. It's like, I raised you one yesterday, I thought it was us. It's like, no, I can't imagine. So I've got one of the, a really old copy, actually, of the 1984 book, which I really love. Completely different cover to this one, but the Anti-Sex League. And there are how would you pronounce this? The prokaryotes, the people that are left the fuck alone, guys. And it's the same you find in a lot of these dystopic movies, is the people, what they call the common people, are left to carry on. And in the 1984 book, they are left to carry on with their own world. All of the rest, the society, have to abide by these crazy, freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. Words double speak. And then they had to bring out a new dictionary where they're cutting the words down as well, because they're doing that in the real life as well. The internet is doing it. It's just cut loads and loads of words just to make it text friendly or comment friendly. Power is in the tearing human minds into pieces and put them together again in new shapes of your own choosing. They do it in the military, they do it through religion, and they do it through social engineering programs. The television is the biggest one. It'll grab an ideal and you'll be like, yeah, that's me. I feel like that's me. And then off you go doing stupid shit, wasting your entire life. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past, which is why the history has been rewritten. Okay, past was nothing like that. This control mechanism that is on us now, the movies show us, is really sinister, unbelievably bad. In fact, they fear love because it creates a world we can't control. So yeah, they're not big on love. I did a video for YouTube entitled Love. I didn't even get to upload it, deleted it straight away. They don't like it. Like they didn't want me talking about AI data centers. I got clobbered for that on the weekend as well. AI is protecting itself. Everything other than working was forbidden. Walking the streets, having fun, singing, dancing, getting together, everything was forbidden, unless you were one of the commoners, which were left alone, singing their songs. Don't you see that the whole world aim of Newspeak is to narrow the range of thoughts? They're actually doing that right now, guys. In the end, we shall make thought crime literally impossible because there won't be any words to express it. Now, they're doing thought crime now as well. People have actually been nicked or arrested for thinking. You were thinking some bad stuff. We suspect thought crime is a thing. So a Big Brother's watching you. Well, that would be AI. It doesn't even matter. I've always felt that I've been watched everywhere anyway. So that's probably like angels, isn't it? So yeah, Big Brother is sinister, but they tell you about the flat earth. They say that the stars are what we tell you they are. Basically, everything that you've learned or we've learned is from the control mechanism of really bad people. I wouldn't even take that information from them. I want to think up my own stuff. So my next offering is a brilliant film. I'm not sure of how many of you have seen this Terry Gilliam offering from a few years ago with the awesome Christopher Waltz. Obviously, he's brilliant in anything that he's acting in, but nothing is everything. So I don't know if you've seen this film, but it is set in a dystopic future. We know specific year, but in the near future. And what you find is he lives in an old church with somatic windows, etc. The rain pisses in, but he's a savant. He's a genius with mathematics. He's been given the job, which breaks most people and gives them nervous breakdowns of proving that everything equals nothing. He has to do zero theorem, proving that there's no point to the whole universe, which he doesn't want to do on a spiritual level. And it literally is really destructive to his soul. And it's such an interesting movie because he has really high-end autism, really, and the outside world is bright and flashy and advertising, and you've got advertising posts bugging you to buy shit, and it's just too much flashy stuff for him. But his day is sat in front of the computer, and he is pattern recognizing and cracking this code, which hardly anyone in the world is advanced in mathematics as this man. He's a super genius. Really super interesting film. And I love the work of Terry Gilliam as well, the guy from Monty Python, the only American one in Monty Python. So yeah, it's a happy, sad film, but I really love to watch it. If you haven't seen it, I reckon Zero Theorem is a really good film that shows you the future. He's wearing a bra on his head. Don't want to go into that why, but there's that church he lives in, and this lady comes around, takes care of him, and plays with his hair and stuff. Nah, she don't. You haven't got any hair, but touches him, touching me, touching you. So outside, he lives. Outside that door is this world. Kango hammer. He's like, oh my God. And then there's like all of this terrible graffiti noise, street people. Oh, excuse me. Dang. Street people, as you can see. And everywhere is this advertising that happens. Tesco. Blow for Tesco's bigger fruit. Interesting, they're advertising Tesco. I didn't even realize you had that in America. But there is no defining place where this is. This could be anywhere because there's a lot of Oriental people, maybe even London. I don't know. Service, hospitals, no one is safe. Oh, wow. Oh, no shame. And Emperor Finance. Okay, that's the advertising. And they literally shout at you and talk to you as well. That's definitely coming. So there is Zero Theorem. Watch it if you can. The next film is a real stunner. Sorry, it's a grainy image. But what we're looking at is Minority Report with Tom Cruise. I'm sure I'm allowed to say those words on the internet, aren't I? I'm not sure. And what it is again, thought crime. They can tell when people are going to commit a crime because they have high-end psychics in a pool of water, and they're connected up to this mainframe computer where they can see the imagery of their thoughts. And when they precognitively see a murder going down, they can get there before the murder. Pre-crime is what it's called. So they're doing something along those lines now, I think, and that's only in the year 2054 when they're solving pre-crime. So what happens with Tom Cruise is they see him committing a murder, so he has to go off and find out what is going on. It's a bit of a roller coaster ride movie, and quite sad for the psychics, but I definitely think that they could do something along these lines. The internet's reading our mind, for fuck's sake. How is that even happening? It's reading our brain waves, probably reading in our eyes. I don't even know, but it knows what we're thinking. So Minority Report is my next offering. Mad Max. I absolutely love all of the Mad Max films. I really do. And Joe of the new movies, he's a bit of a giggle, isn't he? He's got himself a breeding farm with loads and loads of lovely babes. in the future. So what happens in Mad Max? The first Mad Max movie, as you know, with Mel Gibson, absolutely fantastic. Love that movie, but I've seen it about 25 times. So I'm guessing I can't really watch that movie again. But in Mad Max, which was made in 1979, it depicted 1985. And what happened was there was a fuel shortages, and that caused ongoing problems with food. Then there was food shortages, there was famine, then the water, then there was a nuclear war, and then the whole world went to shit in a handbag really, really quick. Then the whole world's like this dystopic landscape where there's places like Bartertown and a load of like steampunk people hanging around in the wilderness, mostly in Australia, building stuff. But it's all about the water and the fuel in these movies. So yeah, I liked all of the original Mad Max movies with Mel. And look at Tina Turner in Thunderdome. I know that's a grainy image. Sorry about that, but it's Google are really rubbish. And the new version with Tom Hardy. Now, I do like Tom Hardy. I doubt he'll ever get to play that again. I'm not sure, but we will see. Most expensive film ever made up until that time. Completely enjoyable. And now the Furiosa franchise, also completely enjoyable. I'm going to give Mad Max. Oh, I'm going to give Zero Theorem a 9 out of 10. And I'm going to give 1984 a 7 out of 10. And I'm going to give Minority Report a 7 out of 10. But Mad Max is getting an 8 out of 10, all of them. So there he is with his dog. I don't remember the dog. And he ends up getting hold of a Shelby from somewhere. I don't know where he picked that up from, especially in Armageddon. But yeah, whole world goes to shit and back. They got sayings like video, and apocalypse as well, because all language is lost, all education's lost, everything's lost, and everything starts again. So the predictive programming, that could happen. There she is, Tina Turner. She looks like a 3-man, doesn't she? It's like, what? Are we absolutely sure Tina Turner was a chick? Because like she dances funny. Like I'm not being rude, but she dances like she has a pair of testicles. But she is simply the best. Better than wearing a vest. So yeah, he ramps up that beautiful Shelby got there. And I didn't realize the dog was so awesome. Yeah. And he's mad, and his name's Maximus. Next film went to shit in a handbag. I followed this series on Prime, Snowpiercer, which is again a rebel army, again a dystopic leadership, Master Mason, terrible, insipid Tilda Swinton. But I followed this season, all of them, because I like Jennifer Connelly immensely. And it went to shit in a handbag in COVID. They lost the contract. I think it went over to ITV or something. And it went from good to I can't even watch it anymore. So that happens in a lot of series as well. Just goes to shit. Excuse me. But yeah, so the idea behind Snowpiercer is it's the arc. It's the arc after the end of the world. And the only remnants of humanity are in a train, perpetually moving with some sort of perpetual fuel device in the front, perpetual energy device in the front. So what happened in Snowpiercer is, in this 2015 movie, this is all set in the year 2030, so only a few years in the future, and scientists tried to do something to sort out climate change, only they inadvertently brought on an ice age and froze everybody to death in the film Snowpiercer. But there's this narrative of this like Jesus character, there's the devil character, and all of the rebels getting all, let's get this shit, and they're eating like liquidized cockroaches. They weren't aware of that either. They got like a fuel drug, a toxic chemical drug, which is a bit like spice and other stuff on there. But the rebel army eventually, I don't want to spoiler alert it, but it's always the good guys. Sorry, there's only two survive. Everybody dies. So this film was fantastic. My next offering. The year was 2027. Next year. The last of the human race. No child has been born for 18 years. He must protect our only hope. So there's one pregnant chick in this movie. Clive Owen got to protect her, and he got to get her to have this baby. Okay. Now, that could be more of a reality than we're thinking, because there's the great pussification of the nation. Okay. You just got to see like British city centre parades at the moment to see that them people are not going to be reproducing anytime soon. People in Japan, the population is plummeting. More people are buying adult nappies than child nappies because there's no children being born. I reckon the world's population is absolutely plummeting, and not the other way around, not running out of food. That is shortages, just deliberate. I think that whatever they're putting in the food, in some of the medicine, maybe water as well, is making men infertile. There was a little spurt of babies born in COVID when everybody was not supposed to go off having sex or anything like that in COVID. So the state said, so everybody like, shit, let's get it on. And that's what happened. There was a few babies being born then. But when I was in Spain, there was a lot of young parents there. But overwhelmingly, I would say that there is a drop in population, because I think the sperm count's dropping, because men, like the average British male, for example, is like, has no features because the weight has made all their face go like Hiroshima-ized. And they all look pretty much the same as well. So I'm not sure if, I think they're pretty much Jaffas, you know, without seeds. So I don't know, I might be wrong. But that is got some shred of reality to that movie, I think. So the next one, oh, excuse me, next offering. Oh, that's Snowpiercer, excuse me. Some of them got jumbled up. Yeah, here's Snowpiercer. It actually crashes and everybody dies. If you're going to watch it, don't bother. I just spoiled it for you. There's the rebellion. Baseball bats, get a ramrod, and charge to the front of the train, where you find out that they got a dystopic elite discos and raves and disco balls and cocktails and all of that shit going on, when everyone else is at the back of the train living like garbage, just like modern society, introduced into this small civilization, the remainders of civilization. And this is Ed Harris, who's the devil character, and he wants to give all of the power over to the Jesus character, who's played by Hollywood rock star that crashed, Adam. Anyway, so yeah, it's a petrol fuel source, and what happens is the engine has to keep running. As long as the engine keeps running, everything is absolutely groovy. If it stops, everybody's dead. Okay, so they have to keep it purring away. Okay, so yeah, I did enjoy that. I don't enjoy this woman, Tilda Swinton. She's like somebody that I find really, really difficult to look at. She does this character, Master Mason, funny name that, where she's the spokesperson for the power that should not be, who is Ed Harris. But as you can see, not even the elites are doing that glorious, because they haven't got an on-board dentist. Next movie is a definite. So I hope you are enjoying the show so far. So I had a couple of images jumbled up, but it proved to be not as easy as I thought to gather a couple of 100 images of movies and number them. Anyway, Soylent Green, Charlton Heston. Now, this film gives you a bit of a migraine when you watch it. For the reason is because it's green, because the world is all so polluted in the future. And this is with Edward G. Robinson as well is in this movie, one of my favorite all-time actors. So yeah, what you get with Soylent Green is set in the year 2022. There's shortages and the economies have crashed. There's ongoing civil unrest, and the food source, because of famine, is now Soylent Green, given to you by the state. And he discovers what's going into the Soylent Green, and it just so happens to be the dead. So there he is with his dad, who is Edgar G. Robinson. He's a policeman, and he finds some sprigs of lettuce and some stuff in some elite's apartment where the murders happened, and he takes them home to his dad. He's like, the best thing that ever happened to them was that sprig of lettuce, because there is literally no food happening anywhere. So yeah, year is 2022. People are still the same, right? Garbage. They do anything to get what they need. They'll do anything, and that means anything to their brothers and sisters to get what they want. And they need Soylent Green. Soylent Green was the dead. I wouldn't trust a KFC in the modern day, and people yump them down. I can't even remember. I've been fancying a nice bit of chicken, like that Southern fried chicken you get in America. Like, do you get Southern fried chicken in Popeyes? I don't even know, but I've been fancying it for weeks. But I don't want chicken that's going to be like all filmy and all full of water and leave like some film in my mouth. I can't stand that chicken. I don't think it's chicken. It might not be chicken. So yeah, the film Soylent Green in the very near future shows a dystopia of a chemical soup dystopia where everyone, because of shortages, is on Soylent Green. So that could happen. The state could introduce a food source because of shortages. It's very possible. They do in water shortages. They introduce like standing taps. They can do it with water. They can do it with food. And would that surprise you? Snowpiercer said it was bugs. And in Soylent Green is people. My next offering is my last offering. My penultimate offering is one of my favorite films. Now, this was banned when I was young, so that made you want to see it a lot more when you were young. So I seen it in a cinema in Canton called the Chapter Arts Centre. I was affected in a profound way. I was in shock when I came out and thought, how are they getting away with that? Oh my God, that was so bad. My poor head after I watched this film. So yeah, poor Alex. So Alex is a juvenile delinquent in a dystopic state which is set in the near future. He's prone to drugs, which is Moloko milk, which is probably adrenochrome. And then he goes off on a binge of violence, sexual violence, actually, and carnage, kicking tramps in and stuff, which is something that happens in the world today in British cities, which is crazy. So yeah, they use mind control techniques to try and cure him. Now, I watched a really interesting film last night called The Good Boy, and that was about mind control, where a drug user from the streets of Britain got abducted, taken to some seemingly crazy people house, a crazy family, where they chained him up and, well, tortured him, electrocuted him, things like that, to make him not be a bully, not take drugs, and not be a shit, which he dropped all of those things and never not a bully anymore. So they cured him. But he did have to go through terrible things, and then suffered Stockholm syndrome and actually went back to them after they tortured him for months. So this technique used here is the Ludovico technique, which is a parapsychological conditioning technique for controlling the mind. They're using eye drops, and what they're doing is they're showing images of bombs and Holocaust, and they're trying to cure him of his pervy ways, and he makes out that he's been cured. So you got a gang of droogies. This is how they dress in this futuristic setting, and he kicks him in the water because, well, that's what sort of thing you do. So yeah, this came out like 1969, just in time for the skinheads. And I've seen loads of people dressed as droogies in my time. So yeah, down to the Moloko, get shit-faced, get in your car, and then go off and do terrible things to elites, usually. But yeah, he's got menace in his eyes there, Michael McDonald. So as you can see, it says synthetic, but it's adrenochrome that they're actually drinking in the Moloko milk. Very psychedelic compound. You can see that they're covered in blood after they've done whatever they've done. So Alex, there you are, adrenochrome there. Alex gets arrested for his crime and then gets taken to jail and sentenced to 14 years imprisonment. To get out of this 14 years, he volunteers for a government program to cure him of his wicked, wicked ways, which he's like, yeah, I can be cured, where he undergoes the Ludovico technique. I was not awakened when I gave orders for awakening. So there's a lot of corporal punishment going on when he was in jail, and very strange individuals coming in, like social services type people. Very, very sinister characters in this movie. It's very dark. And this bit I hate because it's just horrible watching him eating his eggy weggies. It makes me feel like I'm going to throw. So yeah, the reason he's all in stitches and in a mess is because the crime that he committed, he eventually gets invited of the husband of the couple. The wife never survived. The husband and his gay guard bring him over Alex to feed him up. But then they basically beat shit out of him and he ends up back in the hospital eating eggy weggy. So yeah, one crazy film. I can't even believe that they produced this film, but they did. But it was banned in Britain, like I said. There he is being fed eggy weggy in the hospital, which is horrible. So yeah, my top 20 dystopic movies. Check that image out. Is that not fantastic? Jenny Agutter and Farrah Forsyth Majors, who married $6 Million Man. So there you go. Top 20 dystopic movies. That's going to be my thumbnail for this video. I hope you've really enjoyed it. My last bit, it's not dystopic, although it is. It's set in 40,000. It is in a far off, distant place. And it is Barbarella. Barbarella psychedella. She's quite fluffy, but could be a fella. Now, what you find here is Jane Fonda, okay, when she made this film in 1967, she was actually 29 years of age. Let's have a look at Jane Fonda. So she goes to this society, which is sexually liberal, you could say. They have no direct encounters between men and women. They have to use a device and hemisync or brain sync to have sex through a computer. But they have got the orgasmatron, which she's trying out here, and she's very much enjoying, which is just great, isn't it? So there she is. And one of my favorite films. Now, what has happened to her here is she's got attacked with these little dolls with steel teeth. Yeah. So yeah, in this, like I said, they got no sex in this future, and just a lot of gallivanting around naked and stuff. It's one of the more pervious sci-fi movies of modern times. More so than probably Space 1999 TV series. Some of them suits are very, very, I was going to say, appropriate. So there she is. Barbarella psychedella. So there they are, hemi-syncing. So they go like this. And then in your minds, I guess, it all happens. So she's like, no, can we do it the old-fashioned way? He's like, what? You mean actually physical contact? She's like, what? Duh. He's like, okay then. But, you know, goes to shit in a handbag. Brilliant film. And it is dystopic. But I think it's a fair way to end this post. So there she is. She's being flown around by a blind angel. So they have an angel in it, and he just carries around, quite intimate actually, quite close. And yeah, but she gallivants off, going into different bloody space situations with different people, orgasmatrons, and a bit of galactic battling as you do. There she is in the orgasmatron, trying her out. So, yeah, absolutely awesome. So let's have a look. Don't they have sun in LA? They're all so pale. They mustn't go out in it. Maybe it's the winter, but no, still. Maybe Hollywood stars are forbidden from having suntans. I think that is actually a thing, because you won't want different color legs on your Ziegfeld Follies, for example, would you? They want them all the same white legs. So there's that. So there she is, Jane. That's the end of our post. Oh, she's getting attacked by little sparrows. This was terrible. So yeah, she's getting attacked by little dolls with steel teeth. Oh, look at her. They're ripping all of her stockings and everything. Ah, so disgusting. Ah, so terrible. And then eventually they all get like sucked out like that. But no harm comes to any birds in this film, obviously. But yeah, terrible. Whoever thought this up was an absolute genius. So my last for today, I have a connection with, is the movie with Carl Urban in the new one, Judge Dredd. Okay. Judge Dredd, I used to read in 2000 ADs when I was a kid and absolutely loved it. And when they made it a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was like, yeah. No, with Sylvester Stallone. Excuse me. I thought they're actually the same person, aren't they? They merged with Jason Statham. So eventually they made this with Carl Urban. Now, I would say that they need to make a number 2. Okay. And I would say that with the machine gun scenes and Mama, the gangster woman, she was unbelievable. I would say it was one of the best sci-fi movies of modern times. They got this drug called slow-mo. Looks amazing. So you go like this and everything slows down. I mean, you got flies. You can literally see their wings just floating by you with all colors and stuff. So, whoa, slow-mo. Walking down the street would be a mind blow. So yeah, that's the drug of the time. So yeah, he goes into so there's the cursed world. There's been a nuclear war, okay, and the remnants of humanity in mega cities. He's in Mega City 1, which stretch from New York all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of Depeche Mode. And it's massive, but the rest is called the Cursed Earth, and it's behind a wall. Nobody goes there because it's radioactive and cursed. Okay, but inside the mega cities are the mega blocks. Okay, he goes in a mega block and has a battle with all of the bad guys. Okay, and in this case, they are not rebels; they are proper bad guys. Now, my connection to this, you're probably wondering, is there's a girl in this film. Okay, the stars at the beginning, she's the judge boss. Okay, she's a black girl called Reiki Iola, who I actually dated and was in school with, just to let you know. Reiki Iola. So yeah, hopefully they're going to make a number 2 of Judge Dredd. It was one of my favorites. Definitely a 9 out of 10 and the number 1 sci-fi film for this top 20 sci-fi movies, dystopic sci-fi movies, is Judge Dredd. It's the winner. Okay, let me know what you think in chat of this video. If you want me to carry on with any more of these types of videos, I think it was fun. I've enjoyed it very much. So that's been me. 1 hour, perfect timing, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, much love and flat thumbs. Make sure to catch up with my flat a day video. AI is protecting itself and didn't like that one, I've noticed. So thank you everybody for being here. Thank you everybody for watching. Wiggly flat thumbs.